Hey family, Dad here. Hope you're having a great night. On this video, I just want to share things I wish I knew when I was in my 20s. In my 20s, I lived a carefree life, didn't have a worry in the world, drank on weekends, weeknights, got up to work, no problem, and ate whatever I wanted. Looking back now at 48 years old, there are a few things I wish I was more conscious of. One thing that comes really top to mind is, be more financially literate earlier in life. Back in my early 20s, when I had my first full-time job, I made about, $35,000 per year. Lived in a one-bedroom apartment that I paid $875 per month in rent. I drove a 93 Honda Civic. I ate at home most of the time, brought a lunch to work, but I spent the rest of my money on partying and stuff. I minimized putting money in my 401k at the time. Then eventually I cashed it out during my divorce and paid off credit card debt. So going out and buying stuff continued into my late 30s, and then that's when I started watching Dave Ramsey on YouTube. That really changed my mindset on finance. But to learn and take action on my personal finance earlier in life would have changed my path significantly. So the next thing I wish I was more conscious of was a better understanding on what I was looking for in a romantic partner. I was naive, blind, and had no clue how romantic relationships worked. I thought with the wrong head. Don't get me wrong, I have two awesome kids who I love to death. But I got married at 28, divorced at 31. Not really thinking it through early on in the relationships and having a serious discussion on all facets of the relationship, such as our vision, finance, all that stuff. And I regret not even having conversations with close friends or even my parents on this. I felt that was a big mistake on my part. So word to the wise, don't move relationships quickly. Take your time. Don't put a timeline on the progression of relationships. Things will naturally happen if you and your significant other are on the same page. It's okay if things don't work out. Don't force it. If you don't feel the passion for that person, be transparent and honest. It'll hurt at first, but time heals all wounds. Another thing I do regret is not reaching out to people who I envision could be a good mentor or a good friend. There were several people in my life growing up, especially in my 20s, that I did look up to, whether it be, successful in real estate, successful having a family, relationships, work. I did have a few, mentors that were a couple of years older than me, but I wish I was really more transparent with them. I struggled being open and transparent. I think because I didn't know how to open up. And that not opening up really created some gaps in people who I could look up to. Having a close knit of friends that you can be transparent with will go a long way in life. I do have some great friends, some very close friends. It's a small group. A couple of them I've known since elementary school, and another one I've known for over 20 years. I appreciate how transparent we are now with each other, such as finance or health. Reach out to people who you envision could be a good mentor or a friend to you. I struggled with that in my 20s. I wish that I could be a little more open and a little more transparent on people that were, a couple years older than me. I was never taught how to open up and how to share and how to be a little more transparent. And that's why I did struggle for the most part of my 20s and even in my 30s on being transparent and developing good relationships with people in life. Be open and transparent on why you reached out and maintain a cadence on meeting with them regularly. That's something I didn't do. And the last one, looking back in my 20s, I wish I was a little more focused on college. I think just when I constantly think back, more focus in college would equal better grades and then could equate to a focus on a career that I wanted. Now, don't get me wrong. I enjoy my life. I like my career right now. But back in the day, back in my 20s, I had no clue what I wanted to do in college or life after college. During that time, I didn't have really a strong relationship with my family. I just didn't think they were very supportive. Even though they paid for it, they just didn't give me the words of encouragement or the support that I felt would have helped me a lot more. I just passed through and got my bachelor's. I wish I had a support group that I could be more transparent with and open up on my challenges and struggles and maybe get some insights on what I aspired to be. Overall, develop good relationships to the point where you can be transparent and open with, albeit a mentor or good friends. I wanted to change that with my kids when they were growing up. I'm their biggest cheerleader to this day and #1 fan for them to do great in college. I love our relationship that we have today. We communicate regularly and they update me on life, which I appreciate. It's never too late to start engaging or growing friendships or creating trust with friends and family. So stay safe, stay positive, and be happy. Love you, Dad.